Hi everyone and welcome back. And now join us here at Schlock Treatment for a 21 gun salute. That's 21 .25 caliber guns for the Philippines' littlest of heroes. Today would have been the 50th birthday of Weng Weng, the midget James Bond of Philippine spy spoofs for Your Hide Only and The Impossible Kid. Unfortunately, he died in 1992, just weeks before his 35th birthday. And as a tribute to Weng Weng, we're screening tonight his third and rarest of Agent 00 films, Die Wild Wild Weng. Now, Weng Weng in a midget spy goon western. It sounds too preposterous to be true. But Weng Weng in two Filipino midget goon westerns. Now, the wild, wild world of Weng has suddenly become just that little bit wilder. One of Weng Weng's first cameos saw him play deputy to Dolphy, the king of Filipino comedy himself, in Da Best in Da West from 1981, a film which employs the outrageous conceit of having its cast, itself a throwback to the glory days of the Pinoy Western, run around in cowboy hats and ponchos, whilst clearly remaining rooted in the modern-day Filipino countryside. Die Wild Wild Weng, made barely 12 months later between the Agent 00 films, is a shameless plundering of De King's RVQ production, courtesy of Peter and Cora Caballe's rival Liliu Films International, and shares, or exploits, much of the cast from Weng Weng's other movies. Die Wild Wild Weng is not strictly an Agent 00 film, as the little fellow trades in his characteristic white suit for a tiny waistcoat and ruffled shirt. Incognito, you understand. He's only ever referred to as Mr. Weng or Mr. Wang, depending on how hungover the guy in the dubbing booth was. He does, however, strip down to karate pants to do some suave martial arts moves, and once the sight of Weng without a shirt becomes too much, dons the familiar white attire and blue paratrooper duds for target practice, just in case you've forgotten what he's capable of. Silhouetted against the opening spaghetti western credits and Pablo Vergara's jaunty mariachi score, government agents Mr. Weng and his mountainous sidekick Gordon, who, played by future Zoomer star Max Laurel, is more than twice the size of Weng, head to Santa Monica to investigate the slaying of the mayor and his family. They find the mayor's caretaker Lupo has had his tongue cut out. For Your Hide Only's Max Alvarado grunts and squeals and pulls faces, but under his Chinese villain mustache we can still see his tongue. And the evil governess, Senor Sebastian, is in control, along with the familiar faces of Eddie Nicart's stunt team SOS Daredevils, as Sebastian's army of goons, decked out in uniforms, sombreros and gun belts. Villages are burnt, townsfolk are lynched, goats and chickens are confused. These are desperate times indeed. Weng and Gordon rescue kindly villagers, Mr. Dencio and his daughter Clara, who warn them of Sebastian's terrible ways. Later, sensing an opening, Weng tunelessly serenades Clara outside her window, with Gordon on guitar and Lupo squealing harmonies. Less than a minute later, they discover the family has been kidnapped. By ninjas, no less! And are tied to X-shaped crosses by Sebastian's sidekick Fu Manchu. Weng helps them escape, but is later captured himself, spread-eagled between four posts, with his shirt more than a little ruffled. As always, Weng's stature is the main source of amusement, from being carried around in a sack on Gordon's back, to stealing bananas from under a table, to Gordon launching him like a coconut at Sebastian's balcony. It's as if a performing monkey had its cigar taken away from him, crossbred with Arnold from Different Strokes, and then dressed in a set of Tijuana pajamas. At one point, Gordon rescues Weng from his cell by dressing as a monk, while Weng crawls under his cowl and clings, fetal style, to his belly, before hanging down like Max Laurel's third leg. He then slides across the floor in vintage 00 mode, through a goon's legs and karate chops their hamstrings, and does a bionic leap from a 6-story church tower into Gordon's waiting jeep. In a word, Weng Gold. Of course, there are very few gadgets in the Wild West other than a Gatling gun, even bigger than Weng Weng, mounted on the back of a jeep for the big finale. And what an ending! Weng, Gordon and Lupo face off against a veritable army of goons. On the signal, Weng cranks the rattling Gatling's handle as fast as his little arm can, mowing down wave after wave of Mexicans in slow motion, recalling the best moments from Die Wild Bunch. Stage left, a tribe of pygmy Indians. Yes, you heard it correctly, dwarves in red face and war paint. Launch a counterattack with bows and arrows amidst a sea of explosions. Oh, and let's not forget the ninjas. It's one of the most insane endings of a Filipino B-film ever. A micro-apocalypse now, and a Dadaist triumph for Eddie Nicart's merry band of pranksters. Here's a clip from my forthcoming search for Weng Weng documentary. Here, director Eddie Nicart talks about working with the little guy.
When I was a stuntman, that's 1962.
62
in the SOS. Yeah. Up to, I think, 40 years in the SOS I have. 40 or 45 years. I remember only that Peter saw in Baclaran that Weng Weng selling a cigarette in cigarette stand. He's in the cigarette stand. Ay, cigarillo!
So is that how his voice sounded?
Oh, yeah.
It was really that high?
Yes, like, it's very small, this voice.
I can take 25 around.
But you can understand it. You can understand. Hey, you want cigarette? Yeah. You want cigarette? But very small, very small.
Yeah.
Welcome, Agent 00.
Mr. Giant?
We teach him. We have practice in gym.
Yeah.
With my instructor. Stunt, acting, karate, fighting scene, everything.
How long did you have to train him?
A month, couple of months, I think.
What kind of relationship did Weng Weng have with Peter? Was he like a father?
Like a father, but when outside, when she come to their house, Weng Weng is like Weng Weng, go in like a dog. Oh, go in there, no. Don't make even many visitors come. Weng Weng, go up.